Okay, in this video we're talking about expanding expressions using the distributive property. Okay, we use the distributive property to expand, well, one way is to get rid of the parentheses in certain situations, and then to go the opposite direction, we usually call that factoring. So anyway, I'm going to do maybe one or two of these with modeling with algebra tiles, and then maybe not with the rest. Okay, so let's say we have 2x plus 5. I'm going to represent, I know I'm going to get to that 3 outside in just a second. 2x plus 5. Again, do you remember the green rectangles represent a positive x, and the yellow squares represent positive 1. So I have, this is 2x plus 5, and for the sake of making it a little bit, multiplying it times 3 out here. Okay, so what this is saying is I have 3 times everything that's in the parentheses. 3 times 2x plus 5. So here's, if I wanted to show how this works, here's 1, 2x plus 5, and then to see how it's multiplied by 3, I can just model all of this for you. It'll take me a minute to get all these magnets up here. Here's a 2x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 1. Here's another 2x plus 5. And one more. 2x plus 5. So 3 times 2x plus 5. Here is 2x plus 5, 2x plus 5, 2x plus 5. What do I get? I get a total of 6x plus 15. I hope you can see that, or see why that is. Okay? Now, that's what this looks like for modeling this distributive property. What it looks like when we just use when we're not using the algebra tiles, we think of it this way. 3 times 2x, right? That would be the 3 times the 2x. And I usually draw an arrow right here. 3 times 2x gives us 6x. Okay? 3 times 2x gives us 6 x's. And 3 times 5 gives us positive 15. That's the way we show this without modeling it. Okay, 3 times 2x is 6x, 3 times 5 is 15. Very important to keep the signs. This one wasn't too difficult because they were all positive. But it's important to keep its signs straight. Now, let's do one more. I don't know if I'm going to have enough tiles for this, but we'll try. I have a 1x and 1x and negative 7. You get all this other stuff out of the way. Okay, 1x and plus negative 7. 1x plus negative 7. Now this is being multiplied by negative 2. Okay, so we know that when we multiply something by a negative, so multiply negative 2 times 1x Okay, so if it was, we would have down here, this would be 2 times x. Since it's negative 2 times x, this gives us a negative 2x. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And then negative 2 times our negative 7. Well, if it was negative 2 times, or if it was 2 times negative 7, it would just look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? But since it's negative, we're going to flip this to make it positive. And there's 2 of them. Okay, so again, we said negative 2 times negative 7 is a positive 14. So we have negative 2x plus 14. If we wanted to show how we do this without modeling, we would do negative 2 times x gives us a negative 2x. Negative 2 times, I think it's always easier to make this plus negative. So negative 2 times negative 7 gives us a positive 14. Okay? Now, let's try to go ahead and do the last 2 without modeling for us. We can just try that. Okay, now, also, you could model these 2, but we don't need to. If you recall, this is sometimes there's another term here, right? And this term we're subtracting this from this term. But this negative, we assume that that's basically like a negative 1. If there was like z, y, w, I don't care, whatever this is this minus 3x and this minus 4, right? Another way of looking at it is plus negative 1 times this. So that's the way we'll think of it, just to make it easier. Negative 3x, negative 4. Okay, again, the original problem was the original problem is negative 3x plus 4. And we distributed this negative to make it negative 3x and then plus negative 4 or minus 4. Okay? Now, one last example here. We got a fraction. Okay? People get scared by fractions. Doesn't need to scare you. We treat it the same exact way. We're going to take this 1/2, and 1/2 times 4x gives us 2x. That's, instead of minus 6, let's make it plus negative 6. 1/2 times negative 6 gives us negative 3. Or if you wanted to say plus negative 3, that would be fine too. And then this is now our final answer. Okay, so for the most simplified as we can go. This is all using the distributive property and expanding expressions, okay? It goes hand in hand with factoring. It's the opposite as operation, I guess you could say, is factoring. All right, thank you for watching.